in the pandemic with the Secretary of State, Jesse White. We shall be right back. Welcome again to the Progressive Mind Show. If you just joined us, my name is Senna, aka Alinko. Please share the feed if you're on the Facebook page and then on the YouTube page as well. It's the Progressive Mind Show on both. We are honored to have today the Secretary of State, Honorable Jesse White, to talk about driving in the pandemic, what his office has for us regarding license renewal. And apart from just driving, we're going to be talking about the real estate ID and everything that goes around it. And if you have issues with maybe if you miss some tolls, if there are any updates or regulations or with regards to the pandemic, if his office has any type of assistance for people who are struggling, we would like to know all of that today. And he's going to be helping do that. They're working on their systems to make sure that we are able to get him live on the feed this evening. So if you just join us, please know that Secretary of State Jesse White is going to be joining the feed very, very soon. Please share the feed as we wait on him. The name of the show is Progressive Minds, Building Our Community. This is where we engage you and I in critical discussions, or I would say pertinent conversations, with a goal of making our community better. This is a special edition, and we are in a few minutes going to be joined by the Secretary of State is going to be joining us very, very soon. Please stay tuned. We shall be right back. Well, in a short while, we're going to be talking to the Secretary of State. He's in the house. We shall be joining. He shall be joining us soon. Stay tuned. Welcome to the Progressive Mind Show again. As we promised, the Secretary of State, Jesse White, is in the house. We're going to be talking to him regarding driving in the pandemic, among other things. This afternoon edition is a special one for the Progressive Minds. As you are accustomed to, we are here every Wednesday, 6 to 8 p.m. to serve you. But today is a very, very special one. Of course, we know Secretary of State, who is a very, very busy person, but he's honored us this afternoon to talk about his office and some of the things that we want to know regarding driving in the pandemic. Honorable Secretary of State, Jesse White, you're welcome to the Progressive Mind Show, sir.
Senator, glad to be on board. Nice to see you again, sir.
Absolutely. Nice to see you. Looking younger and younger and fresher and stronger each time.
License for life for you, sir.
I wonder how you do it. It's always nice seeing you. We've done this before, and we are pleased to have you again. I want to let our listeners know, if you're on Facebook, please help share the feed, because the information we're going to be disseminating today is very, very crucial. Go ahead and share the feed on Facebook. We are also live on our YouTube page, The Progressive Mind Show. The Secretary of State is not a new person. I mean, of course, everybody know him. If you live in the state of Illinois, we would like to go a little bit about his background. So folks who don't know him will get to know him a little bit, know his background. Of course, there's a lot of accolades. If you want to take time, if you want to go into his bio, we will not be able to exhaust it. Which actually will eat up into our time. But a little bit about Secretary of State. Just Secretary Clark White was born on June 23rd, 1934. He's an American educator, politician, and a former athlete from the state of Illinois. A member of the Democratic Party, he has served as the 37th Secretary of State of Illinois since 1999. He's the longest serving and the first African American to hold this position for over 21 years. Among other things, he's as a veteran who used to jump out of planes. This man is everything, man. It's a good friend too, and we are glad to have you here as Secretary of State.
Oh, wonderful, Senator. Glad to be on board. I also taught school for 36 years, and I made 35 jumps out of perfect good airplanes. You never worry about the jump, just worry about the sudden stop if it doesn't open.
Great.
I taught school for 36 years. Because I believe that when you come through this world, you become successful, you get back. But every day you must do something good for someone.
Every day you must do something good for someone. Well, this alone is a whole topic, right? And he started the topic conversation for us. So, Secretary of State, we know you did a press conference recently on the census. I know people are trying to sign up for it. There's also the conversation of people not really taking it serious. Can you please elaborate on your press conference and any message regarding the census?
The press conference was held this morning, Kennedy King College, and we had a lot of elected officials there. And the topic was the census. There are two things that I want the people to do before the end of the month, and of course, the election is coming up. So I want them to, number one, go to the library and fill out the paperwork so they can be a part of the census, so they can be counted.
Right.
And the other thing is, I want them to make sure that they vote. If you don't vote, you lose your gripe rights. Cannot complain about anything in society. So please, we cannot overemphasize the importance of those two items. But the other thing too, and that is African Americans and Latinos are very, very short in terms of signing the documents indicating that taking part in the census program.
Okay.
And so sometimes they're afraid of the information that is being distributed. That information will be held in confidence. So the police will not be knocking on your door. Only if you've done something terrible in society,
Right.
will visit your abode.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much. So we know, tell us, the pandemic has hit all of us. We have a ritual on this show where we acknowledge people who have suffered due to the pandemic. And we couldn't start with that, but I want to give you a moment to acknowledge people who have taken a hit due to the pandemic health-wise. A lot of people have lost their lives, family members, and all of that. Please take a moment to acknowledge them in your own way.
Well, I've spent a lot of time visiting the funeral homes as a result of the loss of a lot of my friends and a lot of the people who have worked in the Secretary of State's office. We have to make sure that we do all we can to make sure that we have a mask on, and make sure that when we're out in public, make sure that you have the mask on. If not, who knows? You can become a victim of this pandemic.
All right. Thank you so much. Tell us about the new. So first of all, is there any help for people from your office, for people who may have missed their license renewal, who may have missed tolls? Like, is there any type of assistance for people who may be struggling in that area?
Struggling in what regard?
With, renewal of the alliances and all of that.
Well, we still take care of the people who have problems.
Okay.
We have an extension program that goes into effect on November the 1st. So if they have some problems, just call this office, and we will do all we can to assist them in the process.
Okay. All right. Great.
That they're back on the road.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So how about the state? Can you give us a little bit update on the real state ID? Per the law, it was supposed to have expired sometime. I mean, the deadline was sometime I think this year sometime.
Because of the pandemic, we have been able to talk with the federal government to ask them to extend for a 1-year period of time back to October 1, 2021. I've worked in the Secretary of State's office.
Okay. So there is an extension on this.
Yes.
Okay. So if you're not aware, the real estate ID is going to be extended for a year. So which means a year from this month, October. So that'll be next year, October.
It's October the 1st, 2021 is due date.
Okay. Some people are still not sure the difference between what the ID we have now and the real ID. How critical and serious should we take it?
Well, you should always take the document that I've given you seriously. So you can use that document up until October the 1st, 2021. And within that period of time, you should spend time visiting the Secretary of State's office with proper identification so that you can get the real ID with a star up in the right-hand corner of the driver's license.
Okay, thank you. So if you're listening, the real estate ID is necessary and very significant, because what I hear is that the real estate ID is what we'll be using if you want to travel outside the country or even travel outside the state to get on the plane. Now, can you also use both? Can you keep the old one and have the real one, or you have to get rid of the old one and completely use the new one going forward for everything?
You have to get rid of the old one because the old one won't do you any good.
Okay.
October the 1st, of course, next year's due date. But you can also use your passport. Use your passport. Got a passport?
Yes.
Use it. And you don't have to get the real ID.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
In order for you to get the passport, you have to have proper identification. And with the passport, that will be able to allow you to get on the plane. So that's what it's really all about, being able to get on the plane. You can use a passport, or you can use the real ID which has a star up in the right-hand corner.
So how about, okay, that's fine. So, okay, so we use our real ID. We use our IDs for, going to the bank, setting up account, and all of that. And so, so that real ID is going to be replacing the current one. Okay, for everything. But then,
but the other thing too, Senator, and that is that passport must be up to date.
okay,
You cannot use an old passport. Be current.
Okay. All right. So that said, we want to look at would there be any what is the age restriction when it comes to IDs? I mean, would it be would people under 18 be required to have the real ID as well? If you're under 18 years.
Yeah, no restriction on that.
No restriction. So even kids, everybody needs one. Okay. All right. Okay. Now,
but the thing is, you want to be able to get on the airplane, and based on the fact that you have gone to the Secretary of State's office and you presented your driver's license or your state ID, and you have the star up in the right-hand corner, it means that you have shown us all of the documents that are needed to allow you to get on the airplane.
Great. Let's look at business. I know the pandemic has given a lot of people opportunity to rethink their lives, and also given them to be giving us the initiation of entrepreneurship. I mean, so a lot of people have started their own businesses. Have you seen a surge in your office? Have you ever seen a surge in people applying for businesses? And if you can respond to that.
Well, I have not seen that because our department is closed down as we speak, and so right now we have not seen a surge.
Okay,
I misspoke. It is open.
Okay,
it's closed down, but I want to go back, if I may, to the
real ID.
Not the real ID, the
census.
The census.
Okay.
African Americans and Hispanics are the lowest ones when it comes time to participate in this program. Many times they are afraid that the information will be given to someone else. That information will be kept, just like the information we get for your driver's license, the information that you get from the census. All of the information is under wraps.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. When it comes to, let's talk a little bit about organ donation. And we've had this conversation before. What is the current state, and what message do you have when it comes to organ donation in your state of Illinois?
When you are alive and well, give blood. When you're no longer here, give organs. And when you've done those two things, you made a positive impact upon society. One person can provide life or improve the quality of life for 25 individuals. So we just want everyone in Illinois to seriously consider being a part of the organ and tissue donor program. One of the things that we have done that has really, really helped our organ and tissue donor program go forward is, in the past, when you were 18 years of age, you could sign up to become a part of the organ and tissue donor program. We have been able to get some legislation passed that would allow 16 and 17-year-olds to sign up to become a part of the organ and tissue donor program. And as a result of it, last week, I think we have had we've had a large number of people to sign up, and we're talking about 150,000 individuals have signed up to move our long list of individuals who participate in this program forward.
Thank you so much for providing us with that information.
Well, can I give you something else?
Yes, please.
They can sign up too on a program called lifegoeson.com, www.lifegoeson.com, to become a part of the organ and tissue donor program. Many times people think that the doctor who is providing that wonderful care for them is concerned about having extracting your organs. Your doctor has a commitment to you and to you only, and so he is going to do all he can to save you. Then there are individuals who think that they're going to sell the organs. We don't sell organs in this state. That's a violation of all laws of human decency. Or someone will say, I won't look good, am I going away? Sometimes you look better and you're going away. And I'm only kidding about that, but the bottom line is this. That's a part of the program that is a myth, where people think that they won't look good and they're going away. The doctors, the hospitals have a commitment to you and to you only. So we want these individuals to understand the importance of giving someone else a second chance at life, or help them to improve their quality of life. Let me share with you a story, if I may.
Okay.
My brother was a pharmacist at the Lakeside VA Hospital years ago, and he became ill. So we took him to the University of Chicago. They examined him and they said he needs to be put on life support immediately. And so while he was on life support, a gentleman from the Regional Organ Bank of Illinois, which is a procurement agency, asked me if by chance he happens to pass away, can we use his organs for transplantation purposes? I said, no, don't bother him. Don't bother us. Leave us alone. Unaware of the program at the time. So as it turned out, he passed away that night. And a few days later, we buried him. And so I didn't think any more of the program until 2 years later. My sister became ill, was in dire need of a kidney. She put her name on the organ and tissue donor list. And through the generosity of someone else, she got a second chance at life. And then my eyes became wide open. This happened long before I became the Secretary of State.
Right.
So she lived an additional 28 years because of the generosity of someone else. So there's a lot to be said about this program. So proud of the fact that I think it's over 100,000 high school students have already signed up to become a part of this program. And so the young kids believe in it. Why can't an adult believe in it?
Right. Thanks for sharing. The Jesse White Tumblers is very known in the state of Illinois. Give us an update on the Tumblers, sir.
Well, let me share with you what the Tumblers consist of.
Okay.
When I was a kid growing up, I went over to Seward Park and I learned gymnastics under a fellow by the name of Vince Schoenfelder. And then later on, when I went off to college, I went on a baseball scholarship, a basketball scholarship, and then a gymnastics scholarship. So while I was in college, I played baseball, basketball, and I taught gymnastics.
Right.
And then after I had gotten out of college, I came home and I went out to Wrigley Field to try out for the Chicago Cubs. And there were about 300 ball players, and they only took 5, and I was one of the 5. And when it was time for me to go to spring training, I was drafted into the Army. I went to basic training at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. And while I was there, I decided I want to learn how to jump out of an airplane. And so I was transferred from Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, went through jump school, and ended up doing 35 jumps out of a perfect good airplane. And so after I'd gotten discharged from the military, I began my baseball career. And so I played 8 years of baseball in the Chicago Cub organization. And then I did 35 jumps out of a perfect good airplane. Son, you never worry about the jump. It's a sudden stop.
Yes, an epitome of a great man and courage and leadership. We really appreciate the state of Illinois loves you, and we are very, very grateful to have you as our leader in the state and for all the things that you have been doing for us. And we do really, really appreciate you. People have joined the feed and are commenting, so we just wanted to go to our audience, acknowledge them, and probably share some of the things that some of their wishes and whatnot. Bridget Amenyo says, "God bless you, Honorable Jesse White, for all you do." Thank you so much, Bridget, for your comments. And then we have the last outlaw says, great guest. Thank you so much. Rebecca says, great job done, sir. God bless you. We have and Lara is cheering you up. And Lara and Doom, thank you so much for joining us. Mousy says, way to go. Mousy, thank you so much. Empress Mousy, thank you so much for joining us and giving us a heads up. Obaya says, hey, Alinko. Jensen Elinam Dugbe says, great show. Thank you so much. And then Ashia is one of the community women leaders in the city of Chicago. A very great lady. She heads Empowering Women NFP, a non-for-profit organization for women suffering from domestic violence. Great lady. Yes. And Aqua Dada says, great work, brother. Keep it up. Thank you so much. And Little says, she says, I love your outfit. Okay, thank you. So someone is liking my outfit, and so what I'll do is I'll probably gift one to the Secretary of State so that he can wear it. So when next time he comes on the show, you can like him wearing my kind of outfit.
Great.
Thank you so much. All right. So that said, because of the pandemic, I'm sure the tumblers have not been performing just like anybody else, right?
We have not been performing at a level that we've done in the past.
Okay.
But we are still tumbling, but we're not as busy as we normally are.
Okay.
We've been around for 60 years. I believe that when you come through this world and you get it, you give it back. And you must do something good with someone every day. That's how I run my life. So I've been with the Tumblers for 60 years. I was a gymnast as a kid, taught gymnastics in college, taught for the Board of Education, Park District YMCA, and I was asked to put on a gym show. And from the one gym show came the Jesse White tumbling team. And as I indicated before, we just celebrated 60 years back in January with the Jesse White tumbling team being in existence.
Great.
As I said before, when you have these young people and you train them and teach them and set a good example for them, wonderful things happen. So wonderful things have happened with these young people. And I ask everyone within the sound of my voice, remember, there's this big, wide, wonderful world out there. If you want these young people to live in it in a manner which all of us can be proud, put your arms around them, help them to grow tall and straight, and do all you can to help them to be what society would want them to be. That's the best and the brightest, the sharpest knife in the drawer.
Excellent. Now that, how are you keeping them busy? Because we know that the Tumblers is something like a safe haven for them. So now that you're not active, what are you keeping them busy? What are they engaged in right now, the youth?
Well, in the past we used to perform almost every day, and so now we perform probably 2 times a week.
Okay.
And we're going to be up in Wisconsin starting Thursday, showing the people there how high we can get without any roots, herbs, or spices.
Oh my God. I miss their performances. We can't wait for the pen. Go ahead, sir. I know you want to say something.
The other thing too, and that is we perform for the NBA, the NFL, colleges and universities, elementary schools, you name it. We've been there. We've done it.
Absolutely. And as I've said, you performed for our soccer tournament, the African soccer tournament, maybe 2 years ago. And we can wait for this pandemic to be over so we can have you, or can see you in action, and probably at an African event, which is coming up next year. We're definitely going to be putting something together, and we can't wait to have you guys there.
Well, just know that we'll be there to show you how high we can get without any roots, herbs, or spices.
Absolutely. So somebody has a question for you. I know we have like a few minutes to wrap up. Thanks for being here with us so far.
Anytime for you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, sir. I really appreciate you. It's a special edition on the Progressive Mind Show. This is Senna, and we're talking to the one and only Secretary of State, Jesse White. There's a question here. He says, Mr. Secretary of State, Blacks and brown people don't like donating their organs. How do you encourage them to take part in this program?
Well, that's a myth about giving your organs to someone else to help them to become whole again. Well, but African Americans are about 59% on the list needing organs, but they participate at a level of about 35%. You tell me, how are you going to be able to give the organs that these great numbers of people need if you only have a small amount of people participating?
Right, right. Now, Johnny Woods, he answered the question earlier, actually, in his beginning statement. And so maybe later on, when you watch the show, you can get his response to your question in addition to what he just said. Last question, he says, what happened to them? What happened to getting more youth in to participate? Basically, I'm sure he's trying to ask, how do you get more people to enroll in the Tumblers? Are you still opened?
Well, we have a training program.
Okay.
And the Jesse White Community Center and Fieldhouse at 412 West Chicago Avenue. Mm-hmm. And we have another one at Tully Park, and that's 9th and King Drive.
Okay.
2 days a week at one, 2 days a week at the other facility, helping these young people to develop the skills that are necessary for them to be able to perform properly. And then in May, we have graduation, and we graduate out the best and the brightest and add them to the team that we have.
Okay. Is it a particular number or a website people can reach out?
The number is 312-266-7498. 312-266-7498.
Okay. Any information?
And the website, I'm getting that right now.
Okay. While we're getting that website, we also would like to know any contact number or a point where people who are struggling with their driver's licenses, people who want to take tests or emission tests and they can't get through, all of that. Is there any particular number or contact they can reach to for help?
Oh, sure. Let me give you this website, and I'll give that number.
Okay.
The website number for the Jesse White Tumbling Team is www.jessewhitetumblingteam.com. www.jessewhitetumblingteam.com. And then we also have another one, JW Tumbling Team SBCglobal.net.
Okay.
And the telephone number is 312-266-7498.
Okay. Excellent.
Or if so for your driver's license, you can go to www.cyberdriveillinois.com.
Okay.
And then you can communicate with us that way, and we'll show you some love.
Great. Your last comment regarding, I'll say no, this last question and the last thing, and then you can give us your last comment. Are you running again? If not, who would you want us to be looking up to take your great seat?
Well, I'm not running again. I was a state representative for 16 years, the Cook County Recorder of Deeds for 6, the Secretary of State for 21 and a half years, the longest serving Secretary of State in the history of the state of Illinois. And I'm not running for re-election. I have another, I think, 2.5 years to go. And then I'm going to spend some time trying to find the best and the brightest, the sharpest staff in the drawer to support, because I want to make sure that the services that the people of the state of Illinois richly need and deserve are put forward in a timely manner, and in a manner which all of us can be proud.
Great. Is there any person that you would want us to be looking out for your endorsement?
Not right now.
Right now. Okay.
Take some time looking at individuals.
Okay.
Talking with them, and sometime in the future, I will have a name of an individual whom I think will not only take on the job, but will take on the responsibility that goes with it.
Brilliant. Your last words for people who have been watching and listening to you for the past 20 minutes also.
Well, I just want them to understand that there's this big, wide, wonderful world out there, and we just want them to do all they can to make this world a better place in which to live. Wrap your arms around our children, make sure that they're better educated and better informed. And with them, we want to make sure that they sign up or participate in the census, which means that they should go to the library and get the paperwork and fill it out. It'll take them less than 5 minutes. And then, of course, we want to make sure that they sign up, become a part of the organ and tissue donor program. And of course, that's a win-win situation for all of us.
Your comments on the Progressive Mind Show and what we're trying to do as a community building program here in the state of Illinois.
Let me hear that question one more time.
I said your opinion on the Progressive Mind Show and our community building project in the city of Chicago.
Well, I want you to make sure that you remain a part of adding information and inspiration, or providing information and inspiration to your listening audience. When you do those things and more, society will be a better place for all of us.
Absolutely.
I want to commend you, sir, for your giving and caring spirit, and for being a breath of information to the people who are a part of your listening audience.
Thank you so much, Secretary of State Jesse White.
As they would say in my neighborhood, you're the man.
You're the man, sir. And I'm honored to have you. We're honored as a Progressive Minds team, as a community, to have the Secretary of State Jesse White to come here to share what he's doing, what his office is doing to the entire community. We're glad you stayed with us. This has been a special edition. Secretary of State, glad to see you. Thanks for everything. We really appreciate you. Thanks to their team, Elizabeth, a compliment for putting this together, April, and the entire team. Say hello to them.
Okay. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to participate with you and to be a breath of information and inspiration to your listening audience.
Thank you so much. God bless you. We shall be talking to you soon, sometime.
In the neighborhood, you're the man.
You're the man, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, we are glad that you stay with us for this 25 minutes or so. I mean, say 20 to 30 minutes. This today, being Monday, the special edition. We are so glad we had to do this. This show was supposed to have come on maybe sometime last month, but due to his schedule, we had to postpone it till today. We are very, very appreciative, and we thank you for being with us, our audience. I see Ashia says you're the man. Ashia, you the lady. Johnny Wood says great show. Thank you so much, Johnny Wood. All of you who joined us within this short period of time, God bless you. Keep sharing the feed on Facebook and on our YouTube page, The Progressive Mind Show. Wednesday coming up is from 6 to 8 p.m. is our regular show, and do not miss it because it's a surprise coming your way. God bless you. Have a good week. Stay warm. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.